All right, all the way from Las Vegas playing for the Raiders. I almost said 49ers. Can you believe that? I'm not a football guy. The Raiders, Solomon Thomas. Solomon, your interview that aired previous to this one got a lot of feedback. Your sister Emma died by suicide, and that really was the catalyst for you becoming an outspoken mental health advocate, something that I think we don't see a lot of from men, to be honest. Like I interview people all day long and I interview a lot of women. I don't interview as many men. Why do you think it is that men seem to be a little more timid or hesitant to come out and speak out about mental health?
I really believe it's definitely the stigma against mental health and, the
Mm.
stigma uh, definitely against men and toxic masculinity. We've kind of been taught to be raised a certain way, to be strong, to be a man, to have all these things in order to be, to how to correctly be a man. And like, it's time to like break off of that. I'm not saying masculinity is a bad thing, but I am saying that, the ways of how we describe it need to be redefined. Because to be stronger, to be tough, is not to be like, hey, I'm okay, I got it, I'll push through. That's not being strong or being tough. Being strong is to be brave and to be vulnerable and to let someone know how you're feeling and to be like, hey, actually, I'm feeling pretty bad today, and I'm a little sad, and those are things we need to be teaching our kids and the people younger than us and the people older than us too. And to be tough, that's the same thing. To be vulnerable and just to be real, and to be sensitive. It's those are that's a way we can be a man. We can redefine that. So that's what I'm trying to tell people, that it's not all about being strong and being tough. It's about opening up, being vulnerable, and being brave. I feel like that's truly what makes a man into. And at the end of the day, being a man is to be a good human being, and that's what we really need to reset it as, for masculinity.
Yeah, I hear that. When you speak to somebody, and let's go with an intimate setting, maybe a coworker. Well, your coworkers are players, so your other teammates, and you want to talk to them about mental health because maybe they don't believe in it or even understand it. What type of things do you hear from people when you, Solomon Thomas, get to introduce them to this world of mental health?
It depends. It's different per person. Some people, are still not open to it. They still think it's like a feeling or just people being soft or whatever. But those are the people that it's harder to describe to, because they don't understand that mental health issues like anxiety and depression, they are diseases. It's just like any other disease, like cancer, diabetes, or whatever you want to call it. There's a chemical imbalance in your brain. You're not getting enough serotonin or whatever chemical that you need to make you happy or feel a certain type of way. So that's what people need to understand first, and that it. So that is the hardest conversation to have, because sometimes I don't even have a chance to get that deep because it's so shut off. It's like on us,
Mm.
being soft, or like mental health is like that's iffy, So those are hard conversations to have. But I've had a lot of great conversations too. I've had a lot of teammates, us talk about pregame anxiety, or how to keep our mental straight throughout the season, because it's a long, stressful season. How to deal with family and friends during the season or outside the season, because the NFL lifestyle is not an easy lifestyle, and it's hard and it's stressful and it's a lot of anxiety. And so I've had amazing conversations about that as well. And so that's been the more uplifting part, is like teammates reaching out to me, hey man, loved your article. Hey man, love what you're doing. And that always just keeps me going, and just getting those responses from teammates. And I've gotten way more of those in the hard conversations. So, that's what's uplifting. That's what keeps me going, is that people and players are receptive to it, and they want to learn more about their mental health. They want to learn about more about their mental game, how to be vulnerable, how to help others in their family. So it's been pretty uplifting, and I'm very thankful for those who have done that with me and reach out to me.
How are you doing today specifically with the memory of your sister and the loss of that relationship?
Today, it varies day to day. Some days,
Yeah. Yeah. And I really mean like right now, today, Yeah.
yeah, definitely, yeah. But today I'm good. I'm a little stressed out. Got a lot going on, but I feel good, about everything. But with Ella, it's like I said, it's day by day. Some days I wake up and I'm just sad because I want her. Like first thing I do when I wake up, I'm like, dang, let me text Ella this, let me tell Ella something about that, and I just miss her. Like, and so that's the hardest part. But what I've learned throughout grief, what I've learned throughout death, is that the way I keep Ella alive is I take everything that I've learned from her, all the beautiful qualities, all the things that she taught me, you know, and just how she lived every day. And I apply that to my life every day. And
Mm.
I believe I'm doing it every day by doing things like this, by talking to people, but just how I live my life. You know, I'm unapologetically Solomon, and I'll live like that for the rest of my life. And I'll love myself forever. And so that's why, that's how I honor Ella. That's how I keep her alive. And but that's what keeps me going during those sad days, those days I miss her. But there's also some days, you know, I wake up and I'm like, dang, look at the impact Ella's making in the world. Like Ella's alive and she's changed.
Yeah.
Ella's not even here and she's changed the world without even knowing that she is.
Yeah.
So those days, you know, I find some happy moments, and but it's a mix. You know, grief is hard and grief is never ending because I'll forever be missing my sister.
Of course. This week, I've been interviewing tons of people, supporters, patients, those with lived experiences. And it's been a very different type of conversation because typically I talk to doctors all day, psychologists and psychiatrists. And while certainly doctors have plenty to teach us, I have been so overwhelmed by the lessons that I've been getting holding these conversations with people like you who are coming from this advocacy and supporter place. And one big thing that you just reminded me of is the consistent exclamation of what has helped me more than anything is finding that community and support for whatever it is they're going through. Have you connected with other people who have lost a family member from suicide?
Definitely. You know, we've connected with many families. Honestly, way too many families, and it breaks my heart. But you know, it's just you have that. It's a connection you don't want to have, but you have it, and you understand each other so much more because of it. Because no one really understands suicide unless you go through it. You know, no one understands how it is. You know, after you have a loved one die by suicide, because the day after, people at your house loving on you, but they don't know what to say and they don't talk about it. So it's like, sorry for your loss. Like instead of someone who, like, you know, you lost them from cancer, you know, they're there for you, they can talk about what happened and stuff. And then but after the day after, I mean the week after, like my sister died by suicide, it's like something that no one talked about, and it was awkward. And so those are things that we talk about, and we talk about the how how strong and how hard the grief phase is with suicide, because it's something that's not talked about. There's a stigma against it, and it's looked down upon, and how like you feel that every day living, and it
Mm.
buries you down, and you continue to feel that. And if you live under it, you're gonna, I mean, you're gonna continue to go down and down. So that's why we try to connect with families and try to meet with families who have a similar loss, so we can help each other get past that. Not get past it, but you know, walk with our grief and walk with our loved ones that have passed away,
Yeah.
to continue to find a way to make this world a world without suicide.
Yeah. You, in previous interviews, have talked about the mental health journey your family has gone on. I think it would be really impactful if you could share how you've helped them through this and what they've done to help you through this.
Yeah, you know, my family and I definitely, like I was just explaining, have had a journey through our mental health after Ella died by suicide. And you know, at first it was, you know, the awkward phases where people didn't know how to talk to us, or
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
to, you know, like help us grieve through that. And then, you know, then we went through the phase where just like, you know, all of us are just really depressed and afraid to talk about it to each other. And
Mm.
we know how sad each other are, and we know how much each other's hurting. And then I would say we finally like started to, you know, find how to walk with our grief after we started doing some work with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, AFSP. And we did the Out of Darkness walk, and I started doing some articles. I started talking about it, and you know, that helped us kind of come together, learn how to talk about it with other people, learn how to talk with ourselves, find resources. You know, we went to support groups. You know, we went to therapy as a family. You know, there's a lot of things we did to, you know, kind of you know, bring that energy and bring that life back to the family, because you know it was gone forever. You know, because Ella was that energy. Ella
Yeah.
was that. So relearning how to live took us a while. And you know, personally, I went through a very dark phase in my life. And you know, I as a man, I really thought I had to have it all together. I thought I had to be strong. I thought I had to be tough. All this stuff. And you know, I felt like I couldn't get help. I feel like if I got help, that made me weak. I feel like I had everything figured out, and I continued to push it down, and
Mm.
dark place. And then, you know, I finally had to get to a spot where I needed help, and I got help. And you know, and that saved my life. You know, to go to therapy to learn how to cope with my anger, sadness, and you know, grief, everything I'm going through. And you know, just so that really helped me move on. And you know, my parents help me every day. You know, they're there for me. You know, we talk, we text every day. We ask how each other's doing, how we're really doing. If one of us needs to cry, if it's just sad, we let each other know. And then I just try to be there for my parents by loving on them, continuously, just, unconditionally, just be there for them and, find ways to see them at times and, just be together and enjoy life together. So, we help each other through it, and I'm very blessed with my parents and in my family.
So, in those initial conversations, though, when things are incredibly raw and very new and unfamiliar, how did you start to have those conversations? Is there anything that comes to mind that you're like, man, this really had a light bulb moment for me, and this was the moment where I really was like, okay, I can talk about this now if I do it this way?
It wasn't for a while until after Ella passed away. Ella died by suicide in January, and we went to the AFSP Out of Darkness walk in June. I think a month earlier that I released an article with Molly and I on ESPN, and I talked about it. I really was just talking with Molly, and at the walk, I was able to actually, connect with families who have been through the same thing. You
Hmm.
know, conversation specifically, a family came up to me, said, "Thank you so much for your article. You really touch our hearts." I was like, and there's really sorry about your sister. And I asked them about like why they're here. And they had lost an uncle, a daughter, grandpa, at least four members in the family. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then we just connected on another level and we're able to talk about it and talk about, the stigma against mental health, the stigma against suicide. And, it really, that's when I finally felt like I could talk about it. And I really didn't feel comfortable talking about it with other people, even my close friends, even my parents for a while. So after I got therapy and learned how to talk about it. So it took me about a good eight to 10 months to actually get to that stage. And it shouldn't take that long. It should be, you definitely are going to have your time. You're not going to talk about it for a while because it's so hard, and just so devastating. But we should be able to teach people how to talk about these things and how to get through this grief. And it should be more resources more available to everyone. So you know that yeah.
Well, one of the resources, at least I can provide for our viewers, is access to MedCircle. It is Mental Health Month at the time of filming this or doing this live stream, and MedCircle is offering a free month of MedCircle to anybody who wants it. It's completely free. You get access to our entire video library featuring interviews with psychologists and psychiatrists. You also get access to our live classes, and these are really dynamic because the same doctors you will see in our video series attend our live classes. And that means you can ask them questions in real time, get answers. This isn't treatment. It's not even group support or therapy. This is education to really understand what that is. Even just now, I heard you say, Solomon, when I went to therapy and I learned how to talk to my family about this, that is part of mental health education, is learning those how-to things. And I love that it was one of your pillars to recovery. We have a few more minutes here, and so I want to dive into something you said in our previous interview last time we talked. You said that good does not always mean happy. Sad can be good. Feeling emotions is good. Can you expand on this, and what scenarios have you experienced emotions that are good in your own life?
Definitely, and some people, it's hard to understand sometimes, but it's so true, it's so real. And I've learned that through life. I've learned that from getting to the darkest moments of my life and learned that from getting to the happiest moments of my life, because I got so low, I was able to get even higher. And I never want someone to have to get that low to be able to get that high. I'm not saying that has to happen, but that's how I learned how to feel those emotions. And it was more of, it's not how I learned, it's the journey I went through. But like I just learned that feeling you feel your emotions, you feel all your feelings for a reason, and it's so important to feel all of them. Like it's important to feel your sadness.
Yeah, yeah,
It's important to feel your happiness, your awkwardness. Like you have to embrace those emotions because you're feeling them for a reason. They're not
yeah.
just being there. And if you would neglect them, if you ignore them, if you bottle up your anger, you're gonna explode. If you bottle up your sadness, you're gonna explode. If you bottle up your awkwardness, you're gonna explode. So feel those emotions, write them out because those emotions make you you. And if
Hmm.
you dive into those emotions, embrace those emotions, you learn more about yourself. You know more about what your truth is, and how you're supposed to be living. And I just that's why I encourage people to understand that sad isn't bad. Good is always good. If you're feeling sadness for a reason, like embrace that. Like and try to learn about that sadness. Why are you feeling sad? Because I feel like I've had true sadness because I feel awkwardness every day. I feel these emotions and I own them, and I've disciplined with them. I'm able to know my true life and have more true happiness, because I understand life is not all good. Life is not all like happy, happy. Like, we live in a social media driven world where it's all good, 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 happy, happy, beautiful, beautiful. That's not life. If we're really going to go through life, you go through depression, sadness, anxiety. You have bad times. You have more bad times than good times. But if you learn to understand that those bad times are good times, life will be so much better, and you will understand so much more and learn so much more about it. So that's what I've learned in my journey. It's what I truly believe. Because we're all taught that good is the best, and
and don't you feel we're so afraid to feel bad? I mean, it's like as soon as something comes up and we feel like, ooh, this is uncomfortable, or I have a discomfort, all of us, myself included, we seek to get rid of that feeling, and sometimes that can be healthy and in a healthy way, and sometimes it can be in an unhealthy way. But one thing I learned in acceptance and commitment therapy is the power of accepting, like what you just said, that sadness, and going, all right, let me feel this a little bit. Okay, what is it like to have that pressure behind my eyes? And what have I been thinking about that makes me feel this way? And at least getting in there with it instead of trying to push it down all the time allows you to move through something rather than around something. Because if you move around it, it's just going to follow you. Okay. You just got it strapped to your ankle now. So moving through that, I think, has real power in it.
Definitely. I totally agree with what you're saying. And because we're kind of taught that bad is a burden, and that if you're not telling someone all the good, it's a burden. And that's not true, because if you tell someone some of your bad, I'm sure that they've been through some similar bad, or they understand sort of what you are feeling. Because like in life, mental health doesn't discriminate against any race, color, gender, whatever. Everyone's going to go through mental health in some point in their life. So that's why I try to tell you to be vulnerable, because when you have that time with someone to be vulnerable, you never know if when they're going to open up, or if they have felt some of the feelings, you can have that life-saving conversation.
Well, next time you don't play good and you play bad, you can just tell your coach, hey, it's okay to be bad every now and then. He probably won't like that.
I'll learn from my mistakes, so I'll be good.
Yeah, there you go. See, he had a better answer than me. Great. All right. Well, we are going to let you go. I know you were very busy. The fact that you would choose to share part of your platform with MedCircle viewers means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to them. And I applaud you, of course, as everyone has and will continue to do, for taking this true tragedy and helping it shape the lives of other people in a positive way. And I hope through that, you're also finding some peace and resilience as well.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Solomon. And for all of you watching, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you would like to claim your free month of MedCircle, go to medcircle.com or use the links below this video. And remember, whatever you're going through, you got this. All right. Thanks, brother. Have a good one.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye.